Alright, so this is a video tutorial on how to do a turquoise pen blank. I need to apologize ahead of time. I don't have everything I need. I haven't turned pens in a couple of years probably, and I don't know if I'll get around to doing it again. My resin dried up a long time ago, and I'm not going to buy any more resin just to do this video, but I wanted to do this video before I don't have anything else to use to show you. So I've got a pressure pot. This is probably pretty handy to have. I've never tried it without one. If you're coming here from the Pen Turner's website, then you've probably seen some pictures of the turquoise pens I came up with. But you know, it's not quite as good as True Stone. But you know, if you work with this method, I'm pretty certain that you can get something looking a heck of a lot like turquoise. It works with all different colors, you know. So here's kind of a couple things you need to know. Let's see. So first, I've got titanium white, all right, and a graphite black, and then turquoise. So what you do is you start with a base of your titanium white. Again, man, I'm sorry, I don't have the resin or anything like that. This is not going to be a full-on, you're not going to be able to see this thing from start to finish. I hope your imagination is good enough, and if you have these things, you know, you'll be able to do it. So, as far as two-part epoxy, I don't know if, you know, I've never used it, so I don't know if there's a way to translate this over, but the resin with the MEPK or MEKP, it's been a long time. Start with your graphite, or I'm sorry, your titanium white. Make it good and solid, man. Just don't be shy with that stuff. Make it totally opaque. And then that's your base. That'll make it, you know, like I say, opaque. And then add your turquoise a little bit at a time. Everybody's got their own taste at what they consider turquoise to be. So whatever makes you happy, color this up, get it turquoise the way you want, and let it sit. This titanium white, and the same thing with this graphite here. They don't seem to totally dissolve, and the powder will drop to the bottom of your mix. So you know, you just let it sit in that cup for a little while, and it'll get down here to the bottom, and just don't pour it all into your mold. You can see here this. Well, okay, never mind. Forget I said that. Anyway, but yeah, you will let that sit, and then come over here, get your graphite black. You're not going to make it a whole lot of this, just enough to make a thin layer across the top of your blank. And so once this is made and this is made, your turquoise is everything good. You're going to go ahead and add your catalyst and stir it up real gently. And then, and here's something I got to apologize for too. I don't remember the name of this stuff. If you're working with resin right now, you probably have some sort of idea of what this crap is. It's purple. You add like 2 or 3 drops, and that's probably begging for trouble. I mean, just it heats your mix up real quick, and it's a super accelerator. Like I said, I can't remember what it is, but once you've added your catalyst, I don't know if you even need the catalyst if you're going to use this, but I always used it anyway. Added this. Add 2 or 3 drops of this because I want it to get hot quick, so I'm not sitting around all day. Add it to here, pour it, you know, mix it real gently. Come over to your container, pour it in here, and use something deep because, like I say, all the white powder is going to drop to the bottom here because the next thing I do is I hit this with like an oscillating sander, and I vibrate this thing and try to get some of the bubbles coming up and some of the powder dropping down. And then I'm gonna have a nice tub of just turquoise here, okay? Now it is gonna reach a point where it's like jello. It's jiggly, and you know, you can mush on it and you can pull it away from the sides, but it's not a brick yet. And that is exactly, you're running out of time now, and this is the time you move. You get your black. You did not add catalyst to the black. You don't need to. This stuff is hot. So you pour a thin layer of black over the top of your turquoise. Now I have got, let's try to get this to focus in on just what I've got here. I've got a 3-bladed knife which is perfect for what I'm doing. You may need to find something else, because not unless you're a machinist, you don't have one of these. You'll then, once you've got that the layer of black on the top, you're gonna go ahead and cut into this thing, and you can just cut through. And I like using this because I can spin this as I'm cutting, and I can change directions and still have like a leading edge, even though I'm like tearing stuff behind it, which is going to create a nice effect. And maybe make a couple of just triangles or circles. Make sure that you come in from other directions too. Come into the side and kind of cut a groove sideways, and lift these. They kind of like, they'll flap. Lift up the flap. Let the black sink all the way in. It'll get to the bottom and everything. And as you're cutting, just kind of peel away and let that black ease in. And when you run out of black, pour a little bit more on there and keep cutting. This is one of those things, though, less is more. Do not, just don't destroy this thing, because, I've got, let's see if we can see, I got what I consider to be some failures here, where you just overboard and, and it all dropped. You got nothing on the top, everything on the bottom. This was just another failure there. Okay, so once you've got your black cut into all your sides, and you're happy with the amount of webbing or marbling that you put in there, then come over here to the pressure pot. And my pressure pot, I got it sealed up pretty good to where it would hold a lot, and I would crank that thing up to 70 pounds and leave it for at least a couple of hours. And as hot as this thing gets, you've got a nice brick. And, actually sometimes it'll warp, but and that's why I'm saying use something deep, because you are going to have a big layer of black on the top, and that's what this was. This was a black base with a white pour in. So I had this white layer on the top. Well, on this, you're going to have a black layer on the top, and you will have a white layer on the bottom from all the powder dropping. So, your sweet spot's going to be in the middle. So the deeper what you're using, the better. That way you won't have to cut away, like this. Having to cut away a lot before I get rid of that big bunch of white and just get into some of the marbling here. I think that's it. I'm sorry that you can actually see what I was doing, but if you use this stuff, then hopefully you were able to follow along just from memory of what you got here. Here's some of my other stuff here that I don't get to do anymore. Well, before I wrap it up, check this out. Bottle stopper. If you get one of those decals, people are putting the decals on the brass tubes. Well, I set one of those up in there, and it didn't turn out too bad. I kind of like that. Anyhow, I hope this helps, and I apologize I took so long to share this information with y'all.